So this video is intended for you to construct the irregular shaped curve that's going to be in the top view for this part. What I'm going to do is just draw myself a couple of guidelines in order to use for projection. So I'm just going to start here with a simple line, and I'm going to array that line so I can have some random points given throughout my arc here. So I'm going to just pick that line and pick the center point for my array. We'll make this 180 degrees. And I don't want it rotating down. I'm going to click on the direction and it will change the direction for me. And I'm going to go with that right there. So I'm going to project each one of these points over into my right side view, into my top view. If you need this shape to be very, very accurate, then I would increase the number of points that you have in this right here. So this was just 6 right here. You may want to increase that to 10 or 12 points, and then that way that would give you a better arc. But for this assignment, this will be sufficient. So I'm going to change my line color just to kind of keep track of all of the points and what we're transferring. So I've got the top view and the right side view complete as far as I can go. This point here has been transferred up. That's the corner, so I've already got that established. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this next point. So I'm going to transfer this over into my arc, and then where this intersects the arc, I'm going to construct another line up to my 45 and then over. Go back to my front view and construct that line up. And I'm going to leave that right there. So this line right here, that was transferring from this top view here. I'm going to just go ahead and erase that because that's left over. So I'm trying to minimize the number of lines that we have. So I'm going to change to a green line now. Draw another line from this point over. Find where it intersects, which is this point. Bring this up. Transfer that over. Draw another line up. Okay. And now switch back over to a different color. Let's go with magenta. This is the very top of the arc. So this is going to transfer over, that's already been located previously on my right side view. And now transfer that up and into my top view. And bring that up. Now, the other side is exactly symmetrical, so at this point I could just mirror these 3 lines from this endpoint over. So I'm going to just pull my mirror point down, hit enter, and now I have, each one of these points located over here on the side. So this is point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And like I said, if you're trying to get something with a little bit more accurate radius or exact location of that irregular shaped curve, then you would just need to increase the number of places that you have an intersection on this arc. Let's just see what we get for right now. So I'm going to go back to my bilayer, and I'm going to go to my object line, and I'm going to go over here to the Draw Spline Fit command. Click on that right there, and then I'm going to start selecting each one of those points that we have. So I'm just going through, picking those intersections, and I'm going to hit enter. So that gives me an irregular shaped curve. So let's just see what happens if we were to, let me edit this. I'll edit, instead of 6 items, let's make it 12. There we go. Let's just see how close we are. So if I were to go back through this process again, I'm going to go back to my construction line, and we'll start over with red again. And let's say we draw a line from here over, and then up. So we're just trying to find the intersection right there of the 45-degree angle. And then over, and then bring this line up again. Ooh, we're off a little bit. So like I was saying, the more points that you put on this right here will give you a tighter arc. So let me just kind of go through and do this just for fun here. So I'm going to draw this line up. Let's switch to a different color. I'll do a green one this time. So we know it's going to be somewhere in here. And again, on this one, I'm going to mirror these at the end. So I'm just going to do the left side. Find that intersection. Oh, I should have left that curve up there. I picked the wrong spot. So it's pretty tight. Getting all these construction lines in. So I'm going to bring that over. So this is the green line that we're working with right there. Some people number these as they go through or put like a dot or something to keep track with them. I'm just changing the colors of the lines so I can kind of help visually kind of follow. This one's going to be a cyan. So I'm going to pick this one right here. Maybe I should have just picked 10 lines. This is a lot of transferring. But the concept is the same, and you'll see that it gives me more points to plot from, so it's going to make a more accurate curve. Perpendicular. Sometimes Object Snaps has a mind of its own. Alright, let's use, we'll go ahead and use magenta again. So bring that up. Alright, how many more do we have? We have one more plot. Alright, so go back to red. This is so close. I just zoomed in a little closer there so it didn't pick the end point of the other line that I already had. Just kind of watch those things. Alright, let's transfer that one from this point up. And if it helps you, try to keep this kind of like your actual points. You could go back here and trim this before you go through and pick each one of them. You got to watch this one right here with the cyan, seeing which one is on the actual, whether it was a hidden line or that extra line there. So those are all my points, so that you can see that this is, I've got a lot more to work with this time, and I'm going to finish this off by mirroring the information I had over here on the left side. I'm just going to mirror it right there. So, wow, that's a lot of points. So back to my object line layer. Drawing the splines, and we'll start off picking each one of these points, and I forgot to change by layer. There we go. Oops, not line, spline. So pick each one of those. Let's see, that blue line is the hidden line. So red, cyan, the purple one, the green one, the red. That takes it all the way up to the top. Now we're going to work our way back down. the enter button, and that's going to create my arc. So basically we end up with the same general shape. And because I erased the other one, I'd really like to go and just see what the difference is between the two of them. So you don't have to do all of this. I'm just kind of showing you, plotting with a lot of points versus just a few. So let's just back this off. Let's see, we had this one. Oh, goodness. That might be hard. I think when I did this one, I just went ahead and plotted all of them. So I've got a pretty good random shape there. Let's take a look. Alright, so what I just did was I went through and erased all of the extra lines that we did when I increased it to 12. This is just the original points that we had. Just I want you to see the difference in the arc that it created. So this was my original, these were my original 4 points. And you'll see that it's just a little bit off. Not too bad. So you just really have to determine, is it going to be, relevant to your form and function of the part. So here's the one, this one right here is the one that we printed with or plotted with 4 points laid out, and then this is the one I just created. So it's still going through each one of those points, and that's important, but really not a whole lot of difference between locating 6 points or offsetting 6 lines versus 12. Hope that helps.